Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Okay, guys. Two things about last night's show. Number one is, what did I say about electronics misbehaving when there's a spirit attachment? Well, my phone decided to add the last part that said end spirit attachment. My phone decided to add that 6 times. The exact section or segment was added 6 times. I kept trying to add the music and it wouldn't add it and the program would shut down. 6 times it happened. And I'm like, I don't know, someone's messing with me. But I know that I don't have a spirit attachment. Maybe my phone does. I should probably check it. All right, Archangel Michael just came. I asked him, he cut it. I'm multitasking all the time lately. The other thing is I forgot to say that when you go to a place where there's a lot of sexual feelings, nudity, such as a public swimming pool, sauna, bathhouse, but especially the hot tub places. I don't know if you've ever been to a hot tub place. I love taking a hot tub, but I've gone to places where the energy and the spirits and the vibration was so low and so spirit attachy energy that I just couldn't even begin to take a bath, I'm done, So I don't know. It's just like I could never do it. There's hot tub places that, like in Santa Barbara, I used to go to one and it had a very high vibration. I think they saged it out and, did a lot of lovely, meditational and crystals and smoke and all kinds of cool stuff. But my boyfriend and I used to go there every week. We would go every Saturday to relax and unwind, and it's like little individual compartments with a hot tub in it, and there was no roof, and they had this massive tree. It was this huge, 200 or 300-year-old oak tree, and in the tree they had lights, the white lights, and beyond that you could see the stars. It was like one of the most romantic places ever. They would bring you cold drinks or whatever you wanted, and pipe in whatever kind of music you chose, and you just hung out. And between people being in the hot tub, they would drain the water and clean it out with bleach. So that was really cool. And I loved going to that place, but in Colorado, I tried to go with my friend, and it wasn't happening. We walked in there and he's like, what the hell? This energy is so crappy. We need to get out of here. And we left, and we brought a spirit back with us to the hotel, and he was in the room and he was like, oh my God, there's a spirit in here. This is really bad. And what his higher guidance person had told him, his spiritual teacher, who was still incarnate, was that if you suspect there's a spirit, and this is really creepy, you pee in the toilet and leave it unflushed. It's creepy for me because I'm a Virgo. And you keep all the stuff up, the toilet seats up. Men, here's an excuse for you. I'm sorry, sweetie. I didn't flush the toilet and I left the seat up because I suspected there was a spirit attached to the room. I'm helping you out here, man. All right. So I forgot to mention it last night. Wanted to mention it. You could pick up spirit attachments in those places too. Again, any place where there's nudity or semi-nudity and kind of the potential kind of sort of feelings. That's It is a hotbed, literally and figuratively. Oh, and also like tanning booths can also be, because people kind of get naked and they start feeling kind of ooh la la la, and then they leave that energy, and then that's attracting the negative low vibration, and then the next person comes in and it's the same thing. And there's that gym, that purple gym that says no lunks. What is that? Anyway, I've heard of a lot of people that their challenge is to join this like $19 a month gym and see how many people they could have sex with on the tanning bed, because the tanning beds are also free and a part of the gym membership. I don't know. It was like, maybe it's just a Detroit thing. It was something I heard a couple different times talking to random people. And I said, I think I want to join that gym. And then that was the next thing out of their mouth. And I'm like, gross. Ew. Now I'm never going to take well, I mean, I'm a redhead. I don't need to look tan, right? Anyway, yeah, okay. So those are notes from yesterday. And speaking of a weird pee situation, my son and I were gone all day long yesterday, and we got home, or actually, no, he actually went to go see his girlfriend and bring her some almond roca. We found homemade almond roca locally, and we got a bunch of samples for free. And he's like, I'm going to go surprise her. And so he went to her university to meet her after her class to surprise her with almond roca. Oh my God, right? Cutest thing ever. So I took a taxi home, and because we had been out shopping, I took a taxi home with all my stuff. And, okay, Applewood smoked bacon. Don't judge me. Oh my God, best bacon in the whole freaking world. Oh my God, as a Muslim, I'm probably going to Muslim hell. All right. I don't eat pork except for that. Oh, the bacon, I can't stop. It's so good. And it's healthy because it's like all organic, and it's just, this Applewood smoked bacon is like, oh my God. Anyway, off of that subject entirely. So I come home, and I was home, well, basically enough time to change out of my clothes and put the world's most embarrassing outfit I possibly could ever have had in my life on. And then the neighbor, who I've never met, knocks on the door and asks for his catalogs back. He had given my son catalogs for Tupperware and bras for women, which was super weird and awkward. And he's asking me if I was interested. I'm like, first of all, your bra catalog is for women with small boobs. It doesn't apply to me. And I can't afford your, $40 plastic thermoses. So I'm like, hit me up in 2 months. I might want some Tupperware then. Right now, I'm just using poor man's Tupperware in case I get deported next week, which I won't. My paperwork, thank you God, it's on its way. Everything's gonna be fine. But this whole paperwork issue has been super stressful. So my heart goes out to every single person trying to immigrate into any country ever. Oh my God, it's like so expensive and so much work. And if you get one paper out of place, it could go, no. So I get home, I'm in the world's most embarrassing outfit. I'm burning up, I'm sweating like crazy because I just carried all these groceries up 3 flights of stairs. And I had just been walking, and it was just, I was like hot. I was just like, God, I'm burning up. And so I let him in. We're talking. I hand him back his catalogs, and he leaves. And my son comes home within probably, 3 minutes. And he's all, hey, what's up? I'm all, yeah. So like your friend, the karate instructor, was here and got his catalogs back. And my son's like, oh man. He's like, I can't talk. I've got to go to the bathroom. Goes into the bathroom, and it looks like somebody that we know who moved away like 6 months ago came into our house, broke into our house to use the bathroom, and peed all over my son's bathroom, all over the whole freaking thing. And then he left, and he didn't leave. I mean, he's a millionaire. He's eccentric as you know what. He's just a crazy millionaire. He's someone who's worked with, some of the billionaires of the world, okay? Not going to say his name, but he came into my house and did this. And the only time this has ever happened in our apartment ever was the last time he was here on Christmas night, drunk as hell. So obviously he came over, we weren't here, pulled out his pick locking kit he now apparently carries in his backpack, and peed all over my son's bathroom. And we were like, what the hell? What the hell? Like, our doors were locked when we came home. And then today I left the house for like 10 minutes to go to the store next door. I came back and my key wouldn't fit in my lock and I couldn't open my door. And I'm like, oh, there's something weird going on. I don't know what's going on. I need to figure it out. But so weird, like bizarre lock related crap today after yesterday on my show where my mentioning things about locks. And I'm like, I gotta maybe sage out my place, go get some Florida water, make some holy water, mix it up. So today I was talking to various people on Fiverr. I was super pleased. I've had 600 new listens in the past 3 days. That is unprecedented. Like 159 plays yesterday alone. And so I was like, this is really cool. I'm going to get a sponsor really, really soon. And after I thought that, within 5 minutes, holy milagritos, Batman, I had a small miracle. Spotify is my new sponsor of all people. They are paying me almost double what Anchor was paying me, which, so almost 2 pennies per listen. Almost, not quite. I have to get like 3 less listens to make a whole, 2 pennies, but it's pretty cool. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. I got a new sponsor. So luckily, I'm stepping up my game just ever so slightly. I went from 40 listeners to 44 on average per episode. So I'm climbing it up, going up, itty bitty by itty bitty bit. Getting ready to sit down and record the show. And I get a really weird email or Twitter message from Chris Pine. The actor, Chris Pine. He added me a long time ago, and I have famous people adding me once in a great while on Twitter. And usually like Glamour Magazine UK decided to follow me, and Glamour USA followed me out of nowhere. I didn't follow them first. They followed me first. Every now and again, like I think there's a paper in Detroit. I mentioned Detroit once. I did like hashtag Detroit, and suddenly one of the local newspapers or something was following me. And so every now and again, I'll say something about somewhere, California, and all of a sudden the state of California follows me. So I get like these random people following me, and every now and again, a celebrity will follow me first. One of them was a baseball player. I didn't even watch sports. A really famous baseball player started following me once. And because of that, then a couple other people followed me. And this guy who's super famous, Tyrese Gibson followed me. And I swear to God, I think I actually might have met him back in the day before he was famous. And he dated my friend's sister. And so I like keep going, Mimit, you're the Tyrese I know, right? It's like, wait a minute, you're the one I told you you're going to be famous, man. So I don't know if it's that Tyrese or if it's just another Tyrese that I knew. But anyway, so every now and again, I get famous people. Chris Pine. And I'm like, who the hell is Chris Pine? I don't know who this guy is. I look him up. I'm like, oh my God, he's Spock on Star Trek, the new one. Oh my God, of course I know who he is. Duh. I forgot his name. I don't pay attention. I'm only a writer for movies. I don't pay attention to the actual movie. Oh God. So, and he was in the Princess Diaries too. And I loved those movies. My kids grew up watching these movies. So I don't know. He just wrote, he added me and then he said hello to me. Oh no, he added me and then I followed him back. And then he said, thank you for the follow back with a smile. And I'm like, all right, well, yeah, no problem. Whatever. And then I didn't hear from him for like months. He must have been filming a movie or something. Today he freaking writes me and he says, so how long have you been a fan? and I'm like, who the hell are you again? I didn't say that, but I'm all, who the hell is this guy again? I totally forgot again who this guy is. I go and look it up again. I'm all, oh yeah, Star Trek and Princess Diaries. Oh yeah. And I'm all, oh, well, to be honest, you followed me. I thought you were my fan. Do you listen to my show? Oh, we'll see how he responds to that, or if he deletes me. Oh my God. I hope he listens to my show because he is a good actor. I wish he would get more work, though, to be honest, because I think he is like more than capable of getting a tremendous amount of work. He's talented. He's certainly good looking. But anyway, but I'm just like, I got this face amnesia and I don't remember people's names. I'm just like, who the hell is this guy again? Why is he saying I'm his fan? What? Is he famous? Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed because like when I don't know people, like when I ran into, is it Kyle MacLachlan? And I didn't know who the hell he was at all. And I just like spent an hour in Virgin Megastore, like listening to music and dancing with him. And we had like the best time in the whole wide world. And he left. And my friend's like, holy crap, you just spent it, all this time with Kyle MacLachlan. I'm like, who? I do this all the time. Like I think it was Scott Baio. I was all, hey, how are you, man? And I just didn't recognize him for a few minutes, and then when I did, I was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. And I always think I know people like from high school or something. It's so stupid. And then I find out later, wait a minute, I don't know you at all. How do I know you? And they're like, oh, I'm famous. And when I met my roommate that I lived with, who was a famous star, the same thing. I'm all, wait a minute, I know you from somewhere. She's like, well, I am rather famous. I acted in movies with Elvis Presley. I'm all, no, that's not it. I saw you at the health food store last week. And she's like, fine. She hands me a joint. She's like, you want to smoke with me? I'm all, yeah, move over. Move over, woman. I don't know. It's just my life is crazy. I don't live in LA anymore, and I'm in Ecuador, and I've still managed to meet famous people. I've met 2 famous musicians here. Not yet Peter Frampton. I'm waiting for that one based on that crazy awesome dream that I had. All right. So, before we get to tonight's topic, I'm going to go over my usual stuff that we do every day. And but tonight's topic was supposed to be Weird News Wednesday. And the thing is, there's so many other stories and news from around the world that I got a little excited about. It's not all weird. So when I call this Happy Hump Day and news of the weird, wild, and wonderful, then you're going to understand why I called it that. I'm going to keep you guessing, though, for right this moment. Today's Ascension Symptoms Scale, we are at 97. So, yeah, we're climbing. Are we climbing? Let's see, where were we yesterday? Yesterday, we were at 98. We went back down 1. It's not as bad as yesterday, but we're still in that zone. It's still, there's still some things going on. A lot of people have been, this is really weird. Why So Serious channel, by the way, that's also, add that to the list of ones that are still uncompromised and good to listen to. She did an episode today that was released, I don't know, kind of in the morning. And she said, if you have any negative entities attached to you, you have to say Kodowish, 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 Adonai Sabaoth, and then use your pendulum and use kinesiology testing in order to make sure that there's no one or nothing attached to you. And I'm like, is she one of my fans? Does she listen to my show? Because holy moly, I just said this yesterday in my show. So I'm like, I don't think she listened to my show, but maybe she does. And if she does, hey, I'm glad you listened to my show. But she said some things that made a lot of freaking sense. And maybe she's just trying to explain some of the stuff that I mentioned in my show about where people are just falling to the wayside, suddenly getting into the weird negative, like opposite of ascension. They're like almost going into a de-evolution again, or like a I don't know, descension? Is that a thing? What's it called when you go down in an elevator to the basement? So descending, I guess. Anyway, instead of ascending, you're descending. So I don't know. I mean, but she had some cool explanations. So if you want to go, she talks about the false ascension. And some people are getting spirit attachments and negative entities attached to them, giving them faulty information that gets worse and worse over time. Let's take negative energy into our bodies, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's BS. Don't do that. I mean, hey, let's just drink poison now that we're in the fifth dimension. It won't hurt at all. Just kidding. Don't do that. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with people? There's a lot of really crappy advice suddenly out of nowhere, and it's like half the people I once in a while would listen to, I had to delete them out of my life. So, again, just use your discernment. But yeah, actually, if you think you have a spirit attachment, her way of doing it was also extremely valid and very good, and slightly different than mine, even though she uses 2 or 3 of the techniques, but she had a different way of going about it. Excellent advice. So I highly recommend going to the Why So Serious, spelled Sirius, like the Dog Star Planet. She's extremely talented when it comes to being able to see with her physical eyes as well as her higher state vision, all kinds of energy. She is a trippy woman, and I adore her and appreciate her crazy heyoka energy. She's amazing. She's not terribly funny, but she's got kind of a funny energy to her, like a heyoka energy that's like she's definitely a shaman. Anyway, so I wanted to mention that because how weird is that? She's mentioned the same stuff I am. What? Okay, today's activity in the Schumann resonance is started at 4:30 a.m. UTC time, with peaks rising to 18, not 8. Peaks rising in hardly anything above baseline. Sorry. Peaks rising to 18 hertz, 22 and 25 hertz. After that, the highest values of today arrived, 28 hertz at 10:50, and then 40 hertz, woot, 40 hertz at 11:45 UTC time, followed by another isolated peak at 25 hertz at 10:30 UTC. We're getting a little bit. We're not going to be rushing into it. It looks like we're going to be gently climbing the peak. So 40 is good. Nothing to sneeze at. That's pretty cool, actually. Pretty cool indeed. To keep my own energy pure and clear, in addition to all the energy crap I do, on a pretty regular basis, is including constantly talking to my higher guidance and clearing out my mental body and my emotional body and asking Archangel Michael to help me on a pretty regular basis. He's pretty busy around me. Oh, and yesterday I met a lady with the Archangel Michael medal on her neck, and I was like, oh yeah. And she also had a Star of David, even though she's Catholic. She's like, I just love the energy of it. I go, me too. I do too. I love all, there's good things in every religion. Like I told you guys before, I mean, when people die around me, I just want to sit Shiva, and I'm not even Jewish, There's some really beautiful things in every religion, actually. So anyway, I don't know. So I'm constantly doing stuff, but to keep my energy pure, I decided, my higher guidance decided for me that I should be reading one lesson, at least the first sentence of every bit of A Course in Miracles. So eventually you guys get the gist of it, and you're going to get some of the energy of it. I encourage you, if you feel inclined or resonate with this energy, please go get the download an app or go to acim.org and start reading the lessons for yourself, because they are a huge help. Oh, the minute I said that, I just got a nice bout of tinnitus in my left ear for a minute. That was crazy energy. All right, everything's cool. Lesson 4 in A Course in Miracles today says, these thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room, on the street, from this window, in this place. These thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room, on the street, from this window, and in this place. So you could follow that up with, you should read the whole lesson, but follow that up with, all right, I'm going to give myself away for a minute here. This thought about this sweater does not mean anything. It's like the things I see in this room, on the street, and so on. This thought about this donut does not mean anything. It's like the things I see in this room, on the street, and so on. The thought I have about these donuts, I bought donuts next door. They stirred them too long. When you stir any kind of batter too long, it gets tough and old tasting. And, well, that's what they did. No, but it doesn't mean anything. All right, so after my sponsor ad, please listen through. It's about 1.5 minutes. You got 1.5 minutes to run to the bathroom, go grab an iced tea, sit by the pool, whatever you want to do. Go make some popcorn, whatever you want to do. I don't know what you people do. Go do whatever. Let it play out, please. And I'll be right back. If you're listening to this, you obviously like podcasts, and you probably like music too. Long walks on the beach, romantic dancing under the stars, and oh wait, we're not doing that right now. On Spotify, you can listen to all of that in one place for free, and you don't even need a premium account, which is cool. Free is always good. Spotify has a huge catalog of podcasts on every topic, including the one you're listening to right now. On Spotify, you can follow your favorite podcasts so you never miss an episode. Download episodes to listen to offline wherever you are, including your long romantic walks on the beach. Also, one thing I love about Spotify is that you can easily share what you're listening to with your friends via Spotify's integrations with the social platforms like Instagram. So that makes it really, really versatile. Just search for Metaphysical Soul Speak on the Spotify app or browse podcasts in the Your Library tab. And follow me, of course, don't forget, so that you'll never again miss an episode of Metaphysical Soul Speak. Spotify is the world's leading music streaming service, and now it can be your go-to for podcasts too. Thank you guys so much for supporting Metaphysical Soul Speak on Spotify. Happy Hump Day news of the weird, wild, and wonderful. I have several stories to get through tonight. The first one, I would have to consider it to be slightly politically weird, and also it's wonderful because I happen to love the people of Hong Kong, basically, because I want to go there. I love the fact that a lot of people in Hong Kong, when they come home from work, slap on their best pajamas and go out grocery shopping. The the government of Hong Kong is not so happy about it. They don't think it's a good image or look for their people as far as the rest of the world is concerned. But me personally, I love the pajama look. I think it's super adorable, especially when they're walking through the grocery stores with their little fluffy bunny slippers. Oh, it's so cute. But something that's not so cute is what the government of China is trying to do to Hong Kong. As you know, Hong Kong was under British rule for a long, long time. And just a few years ago, the British decided to just up and out of it and turn the country over to China. Instead of giving this nation its sovereignty, either that or China took over. I can't remember now. I don't know what timeline am I on again? I don't know. But According to their mutual agreement between the two countries, Hong Kong had the right to rule itself without the Chinese government interfering until the year 2047, which gives them 50 years to figure crap out and to make sure that China doesn't actually take over their country with their own laws. Now, China has just decided that they're going to go ahead and start a law that will extradite anybody from Hong Kong directly to China, put them in jail without a trial if they break the law in China, even though they are in Hong Kong. So the wonderful part about this is over 1 million people in Hong Kong got together, took over the streets on Saturday. Just this past Saturday, over 1 million people marching, demonstrating, protesting. And follow that up, they were overnight. They had a sit-in overnight all the way through Sunday. I think that's wonderful. People are so angry at the government of China that they're banding together, and unification is always, to me at least, a wonderful thing. So the people that are priests, people that are religious in Hong Kong are scared because religion is banned in China. You see how bad this can get, right? People who are filmmakers, documentarians are very upset. They're scared that they could go without trial, without the help of any lawyers, just straight to jail in China if they get extradited. This is not going to fare well, people, if this law passes. They are now calling for I forgot her name now. Oh my God, I want to say, I can't even say. I want to say there's a P and a CH in her name. Anyway, is it Pamela Chen? No, I can't remember now. Anyway, they're calling for her to step down. That's what over 1 million people were calling. So we're hoping that they just rule against the extradition. I mean, it's going to create a lot of logistical nightmares, legally speaking, but okay, we don't have time for that. We're going to the next thing. The eastern hognose snake. That's right. The North Carolina Department of Parks and Recreation have put out another warning for this year, saying that the snake, eastern hognose snake that grows up to 4 feet, that's it. They probably have Napoleon complex, not just because of their size. Just you wait. These snakes are also known as zombie snakes. Ooh, there's part of the weird news for tonight. That's right. Zombie snakes will roll over and play dead. They will keep their mouth open as if they are dead. They will look every bit as dead as they possibly can. They'll even make their body look like it has rigor mortis, and they'll be a little stiff. That is until you go, oh, look, son, a dead snake, and you grab them and you try to move them over away from the path. That's when they roar to life and scare the crap out of people. Now, this snake is non-poisonous, but it would like you to believe otherwise because it has a flaring neck that is very cobra-like in appearance, and it will start repeatedly striking with its flaring neck at you if you dare touch it. It roars to life in such a crazy fashion that it's comical. I think that some people go to these parks just to play with these snakes because they're so crazy. They have fangs, but only in the rear of their mouth, which is kind of in and of itself kind of weird. Which means like when it gets its prey inside its mouth, nothing happens until the prey gets to the back of its mouth, and then the rear fangs will pop. Oh, it's so gross. Ew, it's so gross. It'll pop its prey. Ew. So the only thing that really truly happens to people is if they have a slight allergy, they might have a little bit of swelling. But usually the snake is harmless, although it does not want you to believe that. It will even buzz its tail as if it's a rattlesnake to try to get you to think it's a different kind of snake. So, hey, look at me, I'm a cobra. Hey, look at me, I'm a striking snake. Hey, look at me, I got a rattle on my tail. And then when you don't fall for any of this crap, all this drama, it's like the drama queen of snakes, okay? He'll then just roll over and play dead as if nothing ever happened until you go to touch it again. And then all the drama ensues once more. Tell me that God does not smoke weed, okay? To have created such a comical creature. So this one is mysterious and weird and not in a good way. This next story is a little crazy, okay? Do not take your vacation in Punta Cana, in the Dominican Republic, in Bahia Principe. 6 Americans have died after drinking scotch. Oh, and I love scotch, so I mean, I can't even go there. I'm not even going to take a chance. They drank scotch from the minibars of their hotels. Well, one of them. The other ones used their minibars, but no one knows what they drank. They never woke up. They went to sleep and never woke up. They had autopsies done. The families said, hey, what happened? We need answers. So the autopsies were done, and it turns out they had respiratory failure due to fluid in the lungs. Nobody knows what the hell is happening. They can't figure it out. It's a crazy mystery. Now, I mean, granted, thousands and thousands and thousands of people go there every year, and even from America, from North America, from the United States. But 6 Americans from the United States have died, and 3 in the month of May. So, pretty crazy stuff, right? The House of Commons in that country, they say it's a mystery. They haven't been able to figure it out. They're still trying to figure it out. I don't know. I think it's a combination. Maybe they ate something and then drank from the minibar. You know, maybe they had an allergy and then the 2 things in combination. You know, I just have a feeling it's something like that. But just crazy stuff, right? All right. Next to that, I have another story that is wonderful and wild. This is in Canada. A couple days ago, the Canadian Parliament passed the Free Willy Bill. Free Willy was a movie, I think in the 90s, late 90s, was it? About a little boy who rescued a killer whale and released it all on his own. Movie I still have yet to see. I should probably go see it now that I know about it again. Basically, this is a law now that you literally cannot hold a porpoise, a whale, or a dolphin in captivity any longer. And if you get caught doing so, it's $150,000 fine. Now, there are 3 exceptions, and one I don't agree with and makes me a little upset, but that one is scientific research, or if you find a sick animal and you're going to rehabilitate it, or if it is a rescue animal. Well, in case it got, I don't know, I guess it'd be the same thing as, rehab, or you rescuing it from somebody who was illegally holding it, maybe. I don't know. But the Green Party does call this a triumph. They're happy now. They said that these intelligent social mammals now have the opportunity to live where they belong in the open ocean. And I agree with them. Okay, now back to the weird. This one is really weird. Elton John has been a legend my whole life. He's a wonderful, wonderful singer, songwriter, performer. Oh my God. Notoriously gay, notoriously known for copious drug use, all kinds of wonderful, fun style things. Well, there's a movie about him called Rocket Man. And this movie has been completely and totally banned in the nation of Samoa because of the drug use shown in the movie, which is illegal in Samoa, as well as acts of sodomy, men kissing each other, and any acts of basic homosexuality. So they have just went ahead and banned the movie entirely from their nation. Russia did not want to ban it from their country. Russia went ahead and just clipped out the parts in which men were performing oral sex on each other or kissing each other or having sex with each other. Any form of love between a normal heterosexual couple would have been shown, but because it's men with men, they decided not to show that because, they're behind the times a few eons. And, well, basically, they did clip out about 5 minutes of the movie. In Samoa, acts of sodomy between two consenting adults will land them both in jail for 7 years. So, I don't know. They also banned the Da Vinci Code because it says that, basically Jesus was married to Mary Magdalene. And because it didn't say in the Bible, I guess the island nation of Samoa is Christian and they don't have a separation of church and state. That's too bad, isn't it? Now, this one's another weird one. It's also political. Venezuela. We've all #pray for Venezuela. We've all been there. Mentioned it even yesterday. I love my Venezuelan friends that I've made over the past couple years, and my son has made more friends than me from Venezuela. And so we hear about the plight of this country. Very beautiful country. Oh my gosh. You need to go see pictures of this place. This is such a beautiful place. But I don't know what happened. The people of Venezuela that I've spoken to pretty much said an evil dictator took over their government and made it so that all the infrastructures no longer have money going to them. Runways and airports have pretty much just been eaten up and eroded away. They're not being maintained. And so flights cannot land or take off any longer from Venezuela, except for maybe a couple places, but they don't have the money to repair, so it's extremely dangerous now. Rice costs $4,000 for a pound for enough rice to feed 4 people, or 4,000 their own money, I guess. So no one has very much money. All of the university jobs were taken away. All of the high-level professional jobs were taken away. People's land was taken away, people's livestock, and all of their crops were burned. And now this is information we've gotten from people we know personally who had this stuff happen to them directly as a direct result of the government and the evil dictator that took over. Well, Russia has come along and said that they now want to help Venezuela. Suddenly out of nowhere, even though they've been suffering for a couple of years now, 3 years, I think. And basically, they said that they're going to trade with Venezuela in Russian rubles. And China is now going to get in on this as well. So now there's going to be trade between Russia, China, and Venezuela. I can see some political issues with the United States. They're trying to get around the United States sanctions and not using American dollars. So I could kind of see where this is okay, and maybe Russia wants to help Venezuela. I think it's more of a political thing. It's a feeling I got. Not a good, I don't got a good feeling about this. I really don't. They are now, Russia is putting out news on the South American news website. I think it's called Sur America News. I can't remember right now. I wrote it down somewhere. Okay, which I can't read my own writing. Ooh, sorry about that. They're saying that because of the sanctions with the American dollar not allowed in Venezuela, that Americans are somehow blocking food and medicine to the country. From what my friends have told me, no, that's not true at all. So I don't trust anything that any of the news agencies are reporting, to be honest. Not from my country, not from any country. I'm only trusting what I'm hearing from the people directly, and what I've heard from them, they said no, it's not good at all. So basically, it's a cause for concern. It really is. They want to do this workaround with Russian rubles so that they can start to weaken the American dollar and take away the strength of the American economy. And I could see where that would be, I could see that. I could see why they want to do that, obviously. But I don't know. All right, so I looked it up. It is called Telesur English. So it's basically news about South American countries in English. So, okay, one of the people here wrote a little thing. All right, so this guy writes that $1 in the United States money, USD, equals 64.88 Russian rubles. And 100 Russian rubles equals 1.54 USD. Now, the Venezuelan Bolivianes, I can't even say Bolivianes. Is that even right? Bolivares, that's it. Sorry. It's really hard to pronounce. I love their money, by the way. Beautiful money. But their currency is basically one United States dollar equals 248,567.80 Venezuelan Bolivares. So 250,000 of theirs equals one of ours. Dude, that is really, really messed up. Now, one Russian ruble equals 15 cents of theirs. So, I don't know. Russia wants to go in and start doing trade deals and start kind of helping the country recover, which is a noble gesture, but I believe it's political. Now, when Hugo Chavez was the president before he died, when the Bush administration, refused to help people on the East Coast who could not afford the exorbitant high bills of, basically their gas bills, Cesar Chavez stepped in, even though there were sanctions against his country, and he gave barrels of oil as donation so that people wouldn't die. They would not freeze to death in their homes, which I thought at the time was very sweet. But talking to Venezuelans, they said no, it was just a political move. So it's just basically a machismo move, to kind of show that he's the bigger man and our president is not a man at all because he won't protect his own people. So there's been a lot of crap between Venezuela and the United States. And unfortunately, the beautiful and wonderful people of Venezuela have been caught in the middle of this. And obviously, #pray for Venezuela. They're always in my hearts and minds. And, I met a couple of people from Venezuela yesterday, and they're just the sweetest people in the world. They've been here actually in Cuenca longer than me. The people I met yesterday, and I thought that was pretty cool. And they run the best Mexican restaurant ever. Oh my God. Super good Mexican food. Oh my God. Anyway, I don't know what to think about it other than this is just really weird, and it could some bad things can happen. The United States people from the United States are not allowed in Venezuela. They are to be shot on sight. I have a friend who is Canadian who lives in Venezuela, and that's what he told me, because he's talked to police there, and that's what they said. Oh yeah, no, the immigration, when he came over the border, they thought he was American, and he was almost arrested. So I don't know. The whole thing is a mess. Still pray for that beautiful country and those beautiful people there, because I love them all the people, at least that I've personally met. So, all right, now I just don't even know. This one's weird in a bad way, too. The Masterpiece Cake Shop is now being sued for the third time Basically because he refuses service to a customer who wants to be a customer. He's now refusing service to a trans woman. This is the third lawsuit against him involving discrimination against customers based on gender, identity, or sexual orientation. Why you gotta be like that, Jack? Yeah, that's his name, Jack Phillips. Why? He refused to bake a cake for a same-sex wedding, and he was sued last year for basically refusing to bake or sell a cake that he already had there to someone because she was transgender, and now this is another anti-transgender cake baking situation. What a weirdo, you know? Isn't the point of having a business to have a business? You make something, you sell something. It's money. Bada boom, bada bing. People are happy. Your cake is good. Their money's good. What, is their money not green enough for you? What the hell is wrong with people? That's weird. Weird. I don't get it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just going to go ahead and take 20% of my own business away from myself because I want to discriminate. That's illegal, dude. Why? That's illegal. My God. People just irritate me sometimes, obviously, and I don't want to judge the guy, but he's like shooting himself in his own foot, you know? I'll never understand people that just refuse service to somebody because they don't like their lifestyle. It's like none of your damn business. It's, you know, I don't know. It just, I'm glad he's being sued. But still, like, what the hell? Anyway, speaking about what the hell, this is Gay Pride Month. There's going to be a lot of gay-related, trans-related, a lot of pride-related stuff in the LGBTQIA community. Some good, some bad, some just really strange. So not only did dump President Trump tell the embassies and consulates not to fly the pride flag, but yesterday Mike Pence said that, well, basically he's on the wrong side of history. Yep, one more freaking time. Yesterday he defended the flag ban, saying that it is quote unquote the right decision. He's another butt dart that needs to be with the other guy. By butt dart, I mean we need to dart his butt to a wall. Like, what is wrong with people? What part of, equality is like so hard to freaking get? What part of equality is so hard to understand? I don't get it. Speaking of equality, don't you think the babies should be equal? Because I do. But apparently get this, you just can't make this stuff up, people. In the city of Texas City, Texas, I mean, could you get any more generic? In the city of Texas City, Texas, mother was Misty Dojero was breastfeeding her baby in the shallow end of the public pool, and she was asked to leave. And she's like, what? Basically, he said, you can't have your two breasts out. A teenage boy is telling a woman to put away her breasts? What? Okay. Maybe that was uncalled for. Maybe that's not okay to say, but what? Really? Are you kidding me right now? He said, you're not allowed to do that here. And he kicked her out. She had two other little kids with her, and she said, you know what? I don't want to make a scene in front of my children, obviously. Hello. But the next day, you best believe that all of the mothers with babies in that area and millions of women around the world have stood up in solidarity, yes, with Misty Dojero, because this is wrong. Babies have a right to eat. Babies, especially newborns. Her baby was a newborn. Her baby is 10 months old, but still, they need to feed every couple of hours, and Was she supposed to get back in her van and let her baby cry for like the 30 minutes home when she could just whip it out? Bada boom, bada bing, baby's happy, everyone's happy, things are cool. It's just so easy. And she said, I always cover my breasts up. I wasn't being out like crazy about it. I was just there in the corner of the pool by myself. No one could see me. And then this guy figured it out and came over and stared at her and told her to put them away. But a nurse then followed, where women who were nursing their babies came and stood in front of the public pool, and they all just nursed their babies out in front. And she said, I won't stand for this, and I'm going to actually go back there. And if my baby needs to eat, I will feed my baby again. If they want to kick me out every day, they will. Well, they've gotten a lot of angry letters, and a lot of people around the world are standing up for her, and good for them. Because you know what? Come on. That's what breasts are for. They're not sexual objects. They are a part of a woman's natural body and part of something that helps to feed a child. It's as natural as a freaking tree or a rock or a sun, but people have sexualized and objectified women for so long. Well, people, you know which people I mean, but we're not going to go there either, but because I have nothing against men, and it's not all men, it's just certain men that unfortunately are in public office usually that are against stuff like this. And so talk about someone else on the wrong side of history, the person who kicked her out in the city of Texas City, Texas. Oh my God. Unbelievable. All right, let's talk about another thing in Dallas. This is weird news. This is good weird news. A bright blue flash, a bright blue light was so bright over Dallas, Texas. So I think it was like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago now. It was so bright over Dallas, Texas that it was captured by a man's dash cam, and it lit the whole sky pale blue, and it turned a black night sky into day for a flash of a second. Same thing happened on the 18th of January, but it was a giant boom and then a flash, and people thought that might have been a bolide or a meteor crashing to the earth, but they didn't know what the boom was for, what it was. And they thought maybe it's a transformer, an electrical transformer blowing up, which makes sense, but they still weren't sure. Well, I don't know. This last one, they don't know what it was at all. It was just all of a sudden a big blue bright light from the ground, and it lit the whole sky as if it was day. Really, really, really weird stuff, man. All right. There was also a really bright object seen above China. The people are believing that it launched from Beijing. A lot of people are speculating whether or not it was a nuclear missile. But what was in the newspaper was really strange. This is really weird. The official party line, i.e., communist government, said, "Do you believe there are UFOs?" was the headline of the article that just said there was a flash of light in the sky. Do you believe there are UFOs? And they kind of just left it at that. That's what was all over the social media. But this was seen over Beijing and pretty much went from the seaport area to the western part of China, and all the cities in between the two places saw this bright white light streaking across the sky. And they think if it was a nuclear missile test, it probably fell into the desert in China. So that was another weird one, though. I mean, do you believe there are UFOs? Like, whoa, right? Without any explanation, like literally zero explanation, is more like we're going to influence people to believe that's what it was instead of like what it was actually. Crazy stuff. This is another weird one. Quick one was, the singing super sensation, Rihanna. Well, we've been pronouncing her name wrong. I saw this on Trevor Noah, and I'm like, what? he showed us a clip in which he said, I am Rihanna. Her name has been Rihanna the whole time. We've been calling her Rihanna for like her whole career. Oh my God. It's probably what people are going to do to me if I ever become famous. My name is Elena. They'll probably call me Alana. I've been called Alona and Atlanta, so I don't know. And Elena. Elena. Those are my names. It's Elena. Mermaid. Call me Mermaid of Ecuador. That's another word you can call me. My beautiful friend whose name is Ra, he lives in Florida. He looks like a wizard. If there ever were a wizard in the world, he's it. But he like dresses in long robes and crazy hats, and he has pictures of himself with like people dressed as mermaids and petting dolphins. He's pretty amazing. Anyway, he calls me the Mermaid of Ecuador because I've always been called a mermaid. That's just one of my nicknames. But I don't know, crazy stuff about Rihanna. Still like her music. Didn't realize that was her name. I wanted to say, this is the halfway mark of this episode. A little bit more than half, I suppose now. But I want to take the opportunity to say once again, Happy Pride Month. Woo! We're here. We're queer. We're never gonna disappear. Yes. I have some news that will just make you so proud to be human and alive at this time. Taiwan. On May 17th, 2019, Taiwan became the very first country in Asia to give LGBT community people full legal marital rights, including taxes, insurance, and child custody. Oh, finally, people get treated as people. But that's pretty cool, right? A lot of the people in Taiwan were a little bit upset, and they've had kind of a rocky road. People voted against it, then they had another vote. Same thing happened in Ecuador. So yay for Taiwan. Yes, yes, yes for gay pride in Taiwan. LGBTQIA pride in Taiwan. And check it out. Amor es amor in Ecuador. Yes, a couple hours ago, guys. Oh, I'm going to cry because last year I marched in the Gay Pride Parade with the LGBTQIA community. And you know what? The woman who everybody affectionately calls, she has been an activist here in Ecuador for a very long time, fighting for gay rights, queer rights, you name it, rights so everyone can be freaking equal, okay? She has been fighting for this for a very long time. And she said last year, by next year at this time, it is my goal that marriage between people, regardless of gender or sexual orientation, will be allowed. Basically, just 2 hours ago. In a constitutional court vote, 5 voted yes and 4 voted no. So guess what? We now have gay marriage rights in Ecuador. Finally, freaking finally. But yes, I'm really proud. I knew she could do it. There's something so determining in her voice in that speech last year. I thought, yeah, she's going to do it. Thank God. Thank God for people like her. So she stood up to the government, and they've been putting a lot of pressure because even though now for many years, gay people and lesbians and, the LGBTQIA community have had rights equal to marital partners, they did not have the legal right to actually marry. Now they do. So they have 100% across the board, every bit of rights as cisgendered heteronormative folks. That's awesome. What's really weird about this case, though, is that in Ecuador in 1998, they were the first country to ban discrimination of sexual orientation in South America. So from 1998 until now, what's that, 11 years? Is that 11? Is that 20 years? No, 21 years. Why can I never do math on this show? 22 years or 21 years ago, they were the first South American country to ban discrimination against people because of their sexual orientation. 21 frickin' years just to get to the gay marriage part. I mean, you know how many years I marched in the street? I was in the parade. I was out doing petitions and talking to people and leading. I was a leader in the queer community and Strong Queers United in Stopping Heterosexism on the Cal State Northridge campus. I'm bisexual and you know, I'm more towards men. You know, I'm more, you know, attracted to men in general, but I've dated women. I've had girlfriends. I've been in the Pride Parade, and I've been on TV in the Pride Parade. I've been interviewed on TV in Los Angeles for being a gay rights activist, an LGBTQIA rights activist. I mean, I was back there in the day when some of my friends did die from AIDS. In fact, I knew the first person to die of AIDS in Grand Forks, North Dakota. I mean, I've been in the community my whole adult life. So I don't know, guys. I'm just like, it was a long struggle to get to gay marriage rights in the United States. And then to come to South America, it's like, okay, I'm going to start working on it here, you know, and I'll march and I'll sign, you know, things and I'll talk to people and counsel people and all that. And I didn't even really get to do much this year. And bada boom, bada bing, it's done. Oh my God. You know, in Ecuador, we have a constitutional right here to develop our personalities as we see fit. That's part of the Constitution. You have the right to have your personality the way you want. You develop your own personality, and no one, not even your parents, have a right to say otherwise. I'm like, wow, what a weird thing to put in the Constitution. We also have the right not to be lazy. Like, what? You have the right not to be lazy. How about the right to be lazy? But no, that's not in the Constitution. What if my personality that I want to develop is that of a lazy person? Oh God, let's just get away from the Constitution of Ecuador. I love the Constitution here, though. Nature has rights, and it's pretty awesome. There's a lot of cool things, but amor es amor in Ecuador. I am so excited about that. I cannot believe finally it's coming. Now, you know, actually, you know, speaking of gay pride, there was a fire rainbow that was shaped like a tornado a couple weeks ago above New Jersey Beach. I did mention this one before, but I didn't give any of the details. Avalon in New Jersey. There was a fire rainbow, which really had nothing to do with rain or fire. And it was very beautiful. Anyway, there's some beautiful pictures if you want to go look this up. What a fire rainbow is a circumhorizontal arc. It's what it's called. And it's when the sun shines above the horizon at exactly 58 degrees, right on the nose, 58 degrees above the horizon. And when there are cirrus clouds in the upper atmosphere with ice crystals in them, the solar rays will come through and shine and create a rainbow. But it's not like a huge rainbow that arcs from end to end with a pot of gold at the end. There's never a pot of gold, damn it. I've looked. I mean, when I was a kid, I would create rainbows with a hose in the summertime and look for the mini pot of gold at the end. There's never a pot of gold. There's never, damn it, never. Or I've just never been fast enough to catch a leprechaun. I think that's the problem. So basically, these ice crystals will produce a rainbow effect. And this is reported by Shanti Universe on June 1st, and it had happened like within the week before that. So it was just a couple weeks ago this happened. Usually when you see the fire rainbows, they are normally seen like half a dozen times a year in Los Angeles, Houston, just any place in the southern states usually. But LA and Houston are two places that they've seen them a little bit more. But usually it's in the southern states, and because of the way the sun has to shine just so. And usually in the summertime, you'll see these. So this is another really strange one. It's kind of weird to me because when I was growing up, this never happened. Gulf storms in Mexico on the western side a couple weeks ago had a 60% chance of becoming tropical cyclones, even a hurricane situation. So I thought that was weird. I don't know if it actually developed into a hurricane, but since when have we had hurricanes on the western side of Mexico? In the Pacific Ocean, the word Pacific means peaceful. It's literally named Pacific because of how peaceful this ocean is. When the hell did this ocean stop being peaceful? It's so strange to me. Okay. Now this one I'm going to report on, and I don't even know if it's going to make any damn sense the way I'm not a rocket scientist, but it's about a rocket. So hopefully you can make and just hopefully you're going to be able to understand it. The Falcon 9 was launched this morning at 10:17 a.m. from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California, and 3 radar satellites were successfully launched by the private space agency SpaceX, who was owned by Elon Musk, billionaire extraordinaire. So now basically Canadians will have reduced service interruption. He did this for the Canadian government, so they'd have reduced service interruption by the radar satellites. This was all done in conjunction with the Canadian Space Agency because these are observation satellites and they are on a constellation mission. I'm assuming what that means is they wanted to, I don't even know, observe the constellations, maybe? I think that's what it is. So I just thought that was kind of cool. It was successful. It was done. It was just all professional. I watched the footage today live. It was pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with the whole Elon Musk space agency thing. Another thing is that Bob Bigelow, another billionaire extraordinaire who is obsessed with space. It's where all the billionaires are upset. They're all obsessed with space suddenly. Have you noticed this? Jeff Bezos wants to launch people into space. Elon Musk has, colonization of Mars goals and dreams in his eyes. He's got the Martian sunset in his eyes already. People just want to be lobbed off into space. And Bob Bigelow wants to have the first hotel in space, which I've known for a long time. If you've been an Art Bell fan or a Coast to Coast AM fan for the past 20, 30, 40 years, as I have, basically Bob Bigelow's been talking about this for a frickin' long time, and it looks like it's coming to pass. He's going to do it. And on the International Space Agency, NASA itself has, the other day, I saw the article and then I lost it again. I don't know where it went, but they were talking about having basically a hotel on the International Space Station. So pretty soon we're going to be able to go up and do that. I mean, you got to go to all your friends' houses a few times and grab all the change out of their couch to the tune of $25 million per person to spend 10 days in space in the International Space Station. Woo! A lot of money there. Oh my gosh. But how cool, though, in a way, it is pretty cool. I would like to do that. I wouldn't mind. 10 days might be a bit much. But I mean, once I'm up there, I might want to stay 10 days because it's going to be kind of fun. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of a recovery time. I mean, have you guys ever gone away for the weekend and like gone water skiing? You come back, you can barely walk. You can't even move. You're like so sore. I love water skiing. I haven't done it in years, but just any kind of anything. I took my kids to these sand dunes, the only sand dunes in all of South America. And we went sandboarding down these long hills, these enormous dunes, face first. Oh my God. My favorite sport in the whole wide world. It was so fun. You know how hard it is not to laugh your ass off because you're afraid of getting sand in your mouth and you're like smiling from ear to ear with your mouth closed. You look like a complete psychopath going down the hill. It's so fun. But I mean, we did that for one day and we were sore for like a week. It was like, oh my God, I can't imagine going into space and having zero gravity and hopping around and floating around for 10 days. And you're going to come back and it's going to be so hard to recover from that, I think, because suddenly you're going to feel so heavy, Although that would be the prime opportunity to bring a scale with you and stand on it where it says you're like 4 pounds or whatever. That might be the fun. I mean, that would be the money shot right there. Instagram, Twitter this. Okay, now this last one. Let's see, do I have one last one or two last ones? No. The magazine Science Advances just reported today a new study in which they discovered, according to Samantha Trumbull, I think, I cannot read my writing, Samantha Trumbull of Caltech University, it's Tech, yeah, Caltech, California. She basically said, and astrobiologists are super, super excited about this. They have said that the signature that the moon Europa is giving off shows that under the surface of the ice of Europa, which is one of the 4 moons of Jupiter, it's pretty exciting because it looks like there is salt water. If there is salt water on Europa, it's a pretty big indication that there might be extraterrestrial life under the surface of the ice in the salt water. The conditions are absolutely primed for some kind of extraterrestrial life right here in not only our own galaxy, but in our solar system. So that's really, really cool. And in other weird news, space news, there was on the moon, when the astronauts landed in the 60s, they heard a hollow thud and it reverberated and rung for a couple hours, they reported. Everybody heard it, freaked them out, like they just landed on a hollow moon. That started all the conspiracy theories of it being a hollow moon. It's not really a moon. Maybe it was a space station that was built, So what they've recently discovered, according to Secure Team 10, Tyler reported this week that they've discovered there's this big metal bin, it looks like, kind of like an underground bunker made from metal, had been dug into the surface of the moon and then hidden, with moon dust over the years. So that might have been what they landed on, but a satellite imaging has shown that on the dark side of the moon, actually they didn't land on the dark side moon. The dark side moon's another story that I'm remembering from my memory, because I didn't, my memory. Can't remember how to say memory. Anyway, when they landed on the moon, basically that hollow thud sound, but now they've done some research with it and they think that somebody at some point has actually put an underground bunker made from metal on the moon for some reason. They don't know who did it or why. Obviously, we don't know. We just don't know. By the way, I did forget to say that the Europa is like 1/6 the size of Earth's moon. So it's smaller than our moon. I don't know if that's important to you, but I had forgotten to mention. I didn't write it down. I forgot. So they did discover on the dark side of the moon that there is more water than they previously thought, but it's still hardly any. Like an eighth of a cup of water would be like in a ton of dirt, but it's a lot more than on the other side of the moon. So it's pretty cool. I mean, like back in the day when I was a kid, they thought that we were the only planet with water, and we were the only planet with like bacteria or with any form of life. Now they've found like bacteria floating around in space and water on the moon and water on Europa. And now the water on Europa has salt in it. And they had to go through this massive process of, they had to read the energy signature, but salt water does not give off a energy signature. So they had to see the color at certain angles, and then they had to duplicate it in a lab. And the astrophysicists and the astrobiologists and all these imaging guys, everybody had to like work together as a scientific team. And it was like a really massive effort, but they discovered it and they were so happy. And I think it was just like 7-8 hours ago, they reported that there is actual on Europa salt water. It'd be cool if there's like whales, if they discovered whales. Oh my God, there's whales and dolphins. Who knew? I don't know. World is crazy. The solar system is crazy. It's all crazy. It's all weird. It's wild. It's wonderful. And so there you go, guys. That's pretty much all I got. I had a lot of gay news today. I'm happy about that because I don't usually have gay news. Some of it was weird and some of it was cool. I'm happy about Rocket Man. I want to go see that now. I wonder if that's playing in Ecuador. Oh my God, it'll be so fun to go see that in Ecuador. Now that gay marriage is legal, oh, everyone's going to be out in droves. It's going to be so fun. I mean, it's not like people were like, people are always discriminated against in all countries, obviously, for just stupid reasons, you know, color of your skin, how tall you are, how fat you are, how thin you are. I mean, people are always constantly, picked on for one reason or another. You got freckles. Oh, look at you. You don't have freckles. Ugh, look at you. People are weird. People are weird. But I'm excited, though. At least there's a little bit less discrimination in the world. It makes me happy. Hope it makes you guys happy, too. Anyway, well, this has been a really fun, at least for me, a fun, happy hump day news of the world, weird, wild, and wonderful. So, that's all I got to say about that. I'll be back tomorrow with all new, unique programming and a whole another topic. I can't even tell you what it is right now, though. I have no idea. But it's going to be a fun one, I'm sure of it. Anyway, I am signing off now with peace and joy and the gayest sort of joy that possibly I can muster during Pride Month. I'm so happy. Oh, yes, gay marriage. Hey, I got options in Ecuador now. Anyway, it's like when there's one little bit of freedom granted, like that's a big, huge chunk of freedom. Anytime that gets granted, it's like, oh, we could all breathe a little easier, guys. Even if you're straight, even if you're celibate, or you're a monk in the middle of nowhere living in a cave. Well, okay, if that's who you are, you're not listening to the show. Probably not getting a podcast, right? Maybe you could siphon the signal off those new Canadian satellites, right? You could get my podcast on Spotify for sure. Anyway, I don't know. It just makes me just feel like, it's just like a little bit of a weight lifted. It's like something that's been on my mind for the past year. And now it's done. It's like, yes, baby, yes. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. There's so many people that will be getting married this coming week. I want to go out and start looking and see if I can't see a couple weddings in the park or something, because it's going to be super exciting. Anyway, and in keto next week, oh my God, it's going to be so fun. Okay. I love each and every one of you. Don't forget, you can write me anytime at metaphysicalsoulspeak@gmail.com. Send me a voicemail at anchor.fm/metaphysical. Anything you want to be played on the air, within reason, of course, I will play it on the air. All right, now I am for real signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.